Let's take a close look at percentage changes. So far, you've seen percentage changes as a set of calculations shown on a grid, and there's certain very simple rules we follow. Like, for example, we've got a grid, and the titles on the grid are shown like the original amount, and then there's a percentage change of this original amount, and that change could be an increase, it could also be a decrease. So we can increase its original amount by a certain percentage, or we can decrease it. And that's the change. And when we calculate how much it is, that's the quantity by which we changed it, which means increased it or decreased it. And then we add that to the original amount and we get the new amount. Let me just show that this way. So if we take the original amount, which is this much, and we assume there is a change, which happens to be an increase, so we take a certain percentage of this, suppose, and when we calculate that by multiplying it, we get this as the change, or the quantity that's been changed. Then what is the new amount? Well, we just add the original amount to this increase or this change, and we get the new amount, which is larger than the original amount. That's one way of looking at it. We can also think about it as a change that is a decrease. So if you got this original amount again, we take a certain percentage of this original amount, and that happens to be this much, but we're now decreasing it. So if we take this much away from the original amount, this much minus that, then what we get is a lesser amount than the original, and that will be the new amount. So that's how we've been doing it, and we can, this way, work out missing bits of other information. For example, if we know the original amount is this much, we know the new amount is this much, then what is the quantity change? Who can tell me? What is the change in quantity? What will we do? Well, obviously, if you take the new amount and take away the original amount, then that will be the change in quantity, won't it? There you go. And that change of quantity could be shown as this triangle here. Now, if you know the change in quantity, you can work out the percentage change, because the change in quantity over the original amount is the fractional change, or the fractional increase. So if you multiply it by a percentage, you'll get the percentage increase. So there you go. You can fill in all these missing bits. What if you didn't know what the original amount was to begin with? All you know is you took a certain percent of this, and when you did that, you got this much. A little piece here. That's what you got. How will you find this? Well, all you have to do is divide this partial bit with the percentage. We can write the percentage as a decimal, and then divide this by this decimal percent, and we'll get the answer, which would be this. And so we can work this out. We'll get the right answer. We can figure out the original amount this way. So there are three different ways you can work out the quantity change, the new amount, percentage change, and also the original amount. Okay, let's now look at this example. Increase $80 by 20%. 20% of what? You know the answer to that. It's 20% of 80. So if you increase it by 20% of 80, you add 20% of 80, which is $16. So you add that and you'll get $96. That's one way of doing it. Now here's another faster, smarter way of doing it. If you want, let's take the same question. You have $80, you're going to increase it by 20%, right? Okay, now imagine this was, of course, the original, and you're going to change it or increase it by a certain percent or a certain part. Now, if the original was $100 or 100%, which is the original, and you increase it by 20%, it means that you're increasing the original by 100 plus 20, which is 120%. So if you increase the original, which is $80, by 120%, let's try it. Increase $80 by 120%. What happens then? Well, 120% means 120 divided by 100, which would be 1.2, of itself of $80, which means multiply by $80, and you get the answer directly right there. You get the answer directly, straight away. No hassle. So if you can get used to thinking this way, it would help because things will get much faster. So let's think about the decrease in the same way. If you decrease $80 by 20%, what will you do? That's right, you'll take 20% of 80, we did that. And 20% of 80 is, as we saw, $16. But this time you're going to decrease it. So 80 minus 16, and you get the answer $64. Well, let's do it the faster way. You've got to decrease 80 by 20%. This was the original, and this is the part by which you're going to decrease it. Now, if the original was 100%, right, and the part is 20%, then 100% minus 20% is 80%. That means you're decreasing the original amount by 80% of itself. So if we do that, decrease $80 by 80% of itself. So let's take 80% of $80. That means 0.8 times 80. Multiply the two, and you get this answer directly, 64. You see that? It's a direct, fast, smart way of calculating increase and decrease by a certain percent. So this is the trick or tip that you learned, and we're going to use this in the next part when we do some problem solving, and you find that percentages actually gets a lot easier, not harder, as you go further down. Take care, have a great day, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.